I think there's great value in storytelling. I'm a natural storyteller. My book is all about stories. A couple of quick stories. I think everybody that may be listening to this video has had this experience in a store. You go to the store, it's 6:15, 6:30, and you forgot to pick up your wife's dress, or you had to buy a special tie, or you forgot your shoes because you're in a different city and you got to get a pair of shoes. And everybody's there standing there, they're waving. 6 o'clock, we close, goodbye, right? Or maybe early in the morning you want a cup of coffee, you got up early in some city and they're waving. You see the coffee pot and everybody's there, but we don't open until 7, like this. Everybody raise your hand out there if you had that. I know you have. I've had it too, many times, right? So this story goes back, I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago. By the way, I send a Hug of the Week story to all of the people that work with us, 504 people. And I sent this story because it came from my nephew Tyler, who was in California at the time. And it was 6:30, 6:45, he said, and our store, Wilkes-Bashford's right off Union Square. And there's this big gentleman, he's banging at the door, and he's got this beautiful blonde, Tyler said, on his arm. And I would have opened the store anyway, Uncle Jack, I'll tell you, I would have, but and it was nice. Of course, I opened the door like we do all the time. And he said, oh my God, thank you. I've been all around these other big stores on Union Square. Nobody would open, they're all smiling at me. Come on, how can I help? He said, well, we just flew in from China, and my girlfriend here is freezing to death. We thought it would be warm in San Francisco. Come on in. And she said, do you have it? So right next to our door is a beautiful Laura Piana shawl. It was cashmere, it was, I don't know, $5,000 or $6,000. Tyler took it, he threw it over this lovely lady's arm. She said, I love it. And he said, I'll take it, right? Just like that. I thought that was the end of the story, Tyler said, but it wasn't, Uncle Jack. He said, 10 days ago, I'm up on the selling floor. We have 7 stores in this store. And anyway, and she's buying a lot more clothes. And she's buying another shawl. So of course, I had to go over, and they gave me a big high five, or maybe it was a hug. And why did you come back? Why, especially, why are you buying another shawl? She said, oh, it was so beautiful. Guess what? Somebody stole it. And guess what? I need another one. And why did we come back? The gentleman said, we came back because you opened the door, Tyler, with a friendly smile and made us welcoming in the store. And I've already told a lot of people about that. We're going back to wherever they were, wherever their home was. It wasn't San Francisco. But I'm going to tell everybody, when they come to San Francisco, should shop at Wilkes-Bashford. Another story, which is in my book, this particular story, I have permission from Lou Gershner, which is in my book. I usually don't put names in the books, and I know I'm name dropping, but Lou Gershner at the time that this happened was the CEO chairman of IBM. And my brother Bill and I are part of the community. I have 3 C's in my book: customers, community, and cash. So he's a customer. He allowed me permission to say that. And my brother Bill and I were part of the community. We were welcoming into the Intercity Foundation for Catholic Charities at the Greenwich Hyatt, welcoming, it was a black tie affair. And this was, so obviously a few years ago. And in waltzes Robin Gershner, Lou's wife. And she comes up to me, and she gives me a nice handshake. I got to tell you what you did for me today at Richard's, our store in Greenwich. What did we do, Robin? She, we go to a lot of these black tie affairs, and we were at the Waldorf last night, another charity event. And Lou put on his tuxedo jacket, and he got out of the car, and he went to button it, and the button fell off. And all night long, he put it in his pocket. He's squirming because the button, and it wasn't even a Richards tuxedo, but I knew that you probably would help me. I went down to Richards, and Tulio, who's been with us for 48 years, our head fitter tailor, he sewed the button on. And then she said, and we do that for anyone. And it wasn't even a Richards tuxedo, she said. So we have 18 tailors in our tailor shop. You know how long it took to put a button on? 5 minutes. Then she said, you know what you did? What did we do? By now there was 50 people. She took a long time to tell the story. She said, you press the jacket, you press the trousers, so Lou could, and in Waltz's Lou, look so elegant tonight. So if everybody forgets all the stories in my book, the button, think of the button. So I thought that was the end of the story, and I told the story because I do motivational speaking, but it wasn't the end. It turned out 2 years later, I'm a tennis player. I like to play tennis rather than watch tennis, but it was the U.S. Open finals, and another CEO invited me into his box in New York, and I look around. Lou's in the IBM box. Lou comes over. He's not. Everybody knows this about Lou. He's not maybe the biggest hugger, but he came over, stopped his conversation, and he came over and gave me a huge high five, and he told everybody in the IBM box, all his VIP people, that we were the greatest clothing store in the world because we sewed a button on. You see how easy it is to make a friend, how easy it is to do something extra beyond their expectations. And when they do that, they become loyal customers and friends for life.